What's good? Welcome back to another edition of Talk That Talk podcast. I go by the name of Bacon. I got my co-host with me.
Man, you already know. It's your boy, Mr. Too Many Reasons himself. Basketball is over.
Basketball is officially over.
OVE.
We got a new champion in the building, and they go by the Golden State Warriors. How do you feel about just the overall finals? Because I'm a little bit okay. I'm gonna just go out there.
It was anticlimactic.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't even like it's. Okay, how can I say this? Mm-hmm. I got so excited because I was like, we got a good series. But then I guess the Warriors figured out that Jayson Tatum has so many holes to his game and that he cannot, I repeat, he cannot create when it comes to getting to the basket. His downhill game, his finishing at the rim game, his all that game is non-existent.
Damn.
And I didn't realize Jayson Tatum was so unathletic until the finals because you don't really see it. He usually look like he can get where he needs to go and do what he needs to do. But for the first time, I actually saw that the man looked like he had two left feet. Like he was going to the rim. Okay. Anyway, he had a bad performance. And he also had I saw that he had over 100 turnovers.
We're going to talk about Jayson Tatum. It's in the show.
Okay.
He's in the show.
All right. But the Warriors did win.
Yeah.
What was the key to the victory? How do you feel?
I mean, it just came down to what we discussed. I knew that the Celtics have too many scoring droughts, and they turn the ball over too much.
Yeah.
And what happened in all four of those losses? Scoring droughts and turnovers. And they 2 wins, they didn't really go through too many scoring droughts.
Yeah.
And they didn't turn the ball over. But in the 4 losses, it was the opposite. And when you playing against a team like Golden State who's seasoned, they got new pieces that are, part of it. But overall, the culture is seasoned.
Facts.
And so because of that, you can't turn the ball over against them because now you got to deal with Steph in transition. You got to deal with Clay in transition. You got to deal with Jordan Poole in transition.
Wiggins.
And then you have to deal with Wiggins.
Who was a problem.
A serious issue.
He was a big problem. He is the new and improved Andre Iguodala for me. Like he does what Iguodala would have did when he was in his prime.
Well, yeah, but I just feel like he's not the playmaker Iguodala is.
Nah, I mean like the defensive, but he is a playmaker because he was
I feel like
to spots.
So what I feel like where they separate, they're equal, and then they have opposite things that they brought.
Right.
Because Iguodala was he can play make, but he wasn't crashing the glass like Andrew Wiggins was.
No.
So that's where they offset. So similarities in offensive production from what the Warriors needed.
Yes. Similarity
in defensive production what the Warriors needed. But one guy play make, one guy was grabbing more rebounds, which helped out. Both they both serviceable in their roles. And he took upon his role, made a huge sacrifice from being a number 1 guy to a number 4 guy, basically a 3 or 4 guy, depending on
how you want to play it.
How you want to play it.
He's a great role player.
Yeah, I mean, he was a great role. To me, he was an all-star this year. So I just feel like he played his part. I wouldn't even say role. He played his part.
Man, he was a role player, man. Just call it what it is, dog. You could be an all-star role player. That's fine. You played your role.
That's deep.
You could be an all-star role player. But here's my thing with the
Warriors.
Warriors.
Shout out to the Timberwolves because the Warriors owe the Timberwolves everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about overall. Like they passed on Steph twice.
Yeah, they did.
They traded D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins.
Yes, they did.
And on top of that, they got a first-round pick from that, so that allowed them to drive Moody and Kuminga last year.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so.
Shout out to Timberwolves, but everything happens for a reason. I truly feel like, and we're going to get into Boston, but I think a lot of the Warrior success comes from the Boston not making adjustments, or maybe they just couldn't make the adjustments. But I do want to talk about this core, this new nucleus. Is this the start of a new dynasty? Because this is different. They talked about the Warriors and Steph not winning without KD, and
check mark.
He did. And KD is still ringless. And it's not about KD. And I don't want to make this about KD. I know a lot of people made this about KD today. But this has nothing to do with KD. KD is a great player. His team just didn't win. All right. But Golden State and Steph has won a championship without Kevin Durant. And people said that they couldn't do it. And now they have a mixture of young guys, athletic guys, and they still got their veteran core group, which is Draymond, Steph, and Clay. And then you still got, don't forget about Looney. I think people just be overlooking Looney and like.
Because they got the young boys around.
I know, but they make Looney feel like he ain't. Looney is a big factor in this series and in the past series. Mm-hmm. Looney is a 3-time champion.
3? So he wasn't there for the first one?
He wasn't there. Bogut was there.
Okay.
And then Looney came and took the seat.
3-time champ Loon.
3 times.
Respect
and so
that man.
Do you feel like this core is going to win more championships?
I'm going to say this. I feel like this core is going to be in that conversation every year because the West is going to continue to get stronger. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, the Clippers are going to be back strong and healthy.
Yeah.
If you talk to a lot of people, Clippers probably arguably got the best roster in the NBA, at full strength. Mm-hmm. I will never count out my Lakers because, I mean, when you got LeBron, you got AD, you always going to put yourself there depending on their surrounding parts.
If Anthony Davis is healthy, anything's possible.
That's what I'm saying. You think about the Nuggets getting back Murray and Porter.
Yeah.
And you know how much of a problem Jokic is.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves are going to be there. Memphis is going to be there. The Suns they're going to be around. So they're going to be the Warriors.
Right.
It's who's going to beat them is the question. And how healthy can they go win unhealthy? But then they're going to say, well, you can't beat us whole. But I need to debunk that theory because LeBron James did beat them whole.
Yeah, he did.
So they have to stop saying we ain't lost as a whole yet because Steph, Dre, and Clay all played in that finals healthy. Yeah, Draymond got suspended, but that was a part of him being silly. So, yeah, so they got to stop saying they've never lost whole. We have
they
to
have
stop.
Lost. Yeah.
They were saying that last night. Joe Lacob said that they've never lost as a whole. Yes, they did because they lost and then they had to go get KD to make sure they didn't lose again.
Yeah.
So
but you know how people got nostalgia.
Yeah.
People don't want to remember.
Yeah.
I think this core is set up.
Championship. They will always be in the conversation.
Yeah, they're set up to win in years to come.
Yes.
They set up because you have one of the most prolific scorers, not shooters, but scorers.
He showed he can score.
To play this game. And he put so much pressure on the defense. But I truly feel, and we'll get into when we talk about Tatum in Boston, is that you put so much pressure on him, and by worrying about one guy, you allow everybody else to eat. And sometimes Steph can be the greatest distraction. Like, real talk. Like,
that's crazy.
And we'll get into that when we talk about Boston. But I know people be like, oh, yeah, you got to work. You can't just, no, yes, you can. You can't. Like try to like take something away a little bit and then take something away a little bit over there, because then it ain't gonna work, and we'll get into that. But I think it leads into our next topic because I truly feel the Warriors they're going to be in the run-ins next year, and I just believe like who's the healthiest team is the best team.
That's basically what it comes down to. It's health and maintaining. We saw that this year with the Warriors when they were unhealthy.
They struggled.
They struggled mightily.
Right.
You feel me? Just imagine, Draymond didn't have a great finals appearance, right?
Right.
But just imagine them losing Draymond in these other series leading up to this.
Oh, it'd have been
or
bad.
Not having Clay or something. Like, it wouldn't have, they'd have been struggling. So
Facts.
We can say strength in numbers, but we all know you need your guys.
Your key guys.
You need your guys. Because even in their 2 championship runs with KD, yeah, KD ended up getting hurt or somebody ended up getting hurt, but still they were still basically at full strength.
Oh, hold on. They was full strength the year they lost to Toronto. They just lost KD.
Well, they ended up losing Clay in game 6. Game 5.
Yeah, they did.
He ended up tearing his, Yeah,
he did.
So, but as I was saying, overall, you you got to be like the conclusion is the healthiest team is going to win.
Right. Facts.
And if the Warriors are healthy, they're going to be a problem for anybody in the West.
Yeah.
And it's still going to come down to can you beat them?
Yeah.
That's all it's going to come down to is can you beat them? And until somebody else beats them whole, because we got to stop saying that they've never been beat whole, they're going to be there. You just got to respect what they got building in that culture, in that locker room.
Shout out to the organization, though. And what's his name, Bob Myers?
Bob Myers is the head of basketball operations. They got Joe Lacob.
Shout out to them and what they do as far as like the draft picks and believing in Steph and sticking with him, because Steph didn't look like he was going to be this Steph.
And that, but you said it just a few moments ago. Everything happens for a reason.
Facts.
If Steph is Steph now, then they don't have the money later on to do everything that they did, because Steph's first contract allowed them to be able to give Clay a bag, or give Dre a bag, allowed them to ultimately give Andre Iguodala and bring in KD. And then because of that, they didn't lose nothing to bring in these pieces.
Right.
So the 2 years they were bad, they still had all their draft pick. They still had all their assets. And then they got another asset from Minnesota.
Right.
So it was like they were able to retool because of Steph's first, which is, you think about it, Steph's first contract has set the precedent for the Warriors' whole run, because Steph had bad ankles.